main topic today is this. So we know a long time ago, it seems like now years ago, who knows how long it's really been, but we got all this, announcements about Kevin Feige is going to, do a Star Wars movie. And then he has this like Rogue Squadron movie that Patty Jenkins is going to kind of oversee and direct. It was a lot of kind of exciting news at that time too. A lot of huge news for Marvel at that time. So it all kind of got lost, I feel like, in all the sauce. There was so much going on that it's been so long now that I kind of forgot. And and a couple years later there was an announcement that Taika Waititi was going to be now making his own Star Wars movie, and I feel like that again just kind of piled on top of all the other news we had, and I kind of had just forgotten. And then, not that long ago, we had the news that Rogue Squadron and Patty Jenkins, that she was stepping away from it, that it might not be happening. So we're having some more news here today, and this honestly isn't like, this is expected for me. And this is coming to us from Screen Rant. As you see here, it says Rogue Squadron and Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie canceled by Lucasfilm. Now let's read a little bit of this. The Star Wars film set to be produced by Kevin Feige and Patty Jenkins, Rogue Squadron, are no longer in active development at Lucasfilm, throwing the franchise's cinematic future into even further doubt. In 2019 and 2020, Lucasfilm made several key announcements about the Star Wars franchise's future. These included a movie by Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige, with Michael Waldron later attached to the project as a head writer after his work on the MCU. Meanwhile, development began on Rogue Squadron's movie by Patty Jenkins, initially scheduled for December 2023 release. That's this year, guys. It was pulled in September of 2022, and there had been no news for some months. There have been recent reports Lucasfilm is ramping up Star Wars movies again, but a new report by Variety indicates these two projects have been shelved. Neither are now part of the studio's plans for Star Wars. But in September 2022, Disney pulled the title Rogue Squadron from its scheduled 2023 release, and sources with knowledge of the production say it is no longer in active development at the studio. This report all but confirms Rogue Squadron's being pulled meant the worst for Jenkins films. Similarly, despite updates from Waldron in May 2022 that he had begun working on the script for Feige's movie, that film's future is now dead as well. Well, damn. Again, this isn't really surprising news to me. It had so much had gone by. Again, in the Taika Waititi, which we'll talk a little bit about later, film got announced. It just look what is going on with Star Wars, man. This is one of the greatest worlds ever created, and to think that we're, when was it now? How long has it been, Lucas, since we've had...
oh, God, I was just thinking that.
What was that? What was it called?
Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah, sorry, Rise of Skywalker.
I want to say like 2019.
It was like right before the pandemic, right? Mm-hmm. And, we had talked previously about, an Avengers film being shelved for 4 or 5 years is just uncalled for. And it's stupid, right?
Right.
The same thing with this, man. For there not to be more Star Wars planned, there should have been a plan for what was coming next with Star Wars after the Rise of Skywalker. Clearly, there was none. And whatever plan that was formulated quickly, which involved Kevin Feige and Patty Jenkins, that fell apart quickly as well, it seems. And now where are we left? So how long will it be, really, before we get an actual Star Wars feature film again? It could be a long time, and this is troubling news. Again, we'll talk about the Taika Waititi stuff a little bit later, so we'll see where that goes. But, Lucas, you're hearing this. What are your thoughts? What do you think about both of these projects being dead? We want to take a second to thank one of the sponsors of the show, VFly. VFly is a company backed by Google and Google Ads. They use a trusted system to put your YouTube content in front of the right eyes, gaining your videos more views, likes, comments, and subscribers. And this is no BS bot stuff or fake views like all those other sites are going to give you. This company is backed by Google and has delivered on billions of views to date. I've been using VFly now for a while, and I have just been stunned by the great results. Go visit VFly now with the link in the description, and thank you to VFly for being a sponsor of the Screen Talk Live YouTube channel.
Like you said, it doesn't surprise me either. I mean, we hadn't heard, like, even the Michael Waldron thing. You know, that was just saying that he was starting to work on a script, and that was nothing more concrete than even that Kevin Feige was going to be producing one. You know what I mean? So it's not. It's been a long time since we've heard anything concrete on this, so this doesn't surprise me about this. But I agree with you. I mean, you know, Star Wars has always been one of my favorite movies of all time, and
it's the original franchise.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's what everyone wants is because of that.
Right, exactly. And the fact that, I mean, like, look, I'm just happy that we've gotten some TV shows. You know, like, I love the Clone Wars series. I love, obviously, The Mandalorian.
If there can be 25 MCU movies, why can't there be 25 Star Wars movies?
There can. It's just hard.
The MCU
but look,
started
it's hard.
in 2008. Star Wars started in 77, and it still doesn't have half the movies.
Look, okay, but here's the thing: is that the Star Wars movies, like the main saga, is the saga of kind of the Skywalker family. Right.
Yeah, it is now. That's
so,
for sure.
well, it always was. Like, it's Luke, and then it was Anakin before him. You know, and like, I think they just don't know. They're afraid to get their feet wet outside of that, and they don't want to jump the gun, you know, or go full force on something because they're not sure. I mean, the Star Wars fan base is divisive and like negative and just awful sometimes, you know, and so I don't blame them on the one hand, but on the other, you know, they are just sitting on a gold mine of IP, and you can see that with The Mandalorian. And look, just give it up to Jon Favreau. Let him and Dave Filoni take over, and I think that we'd be okay.
It won't be long, and there'll be more Indiana Jones movies than there are Star Wars movies, and that is a problem. There's all kinds of franchise movies. I mean, there's almost more Lord of the Rings movies or a Hobbit, whatever you want to call that universe. There's almost more of those movies than there is of than Star Wars. So there needs to be more Star Wars movies that should always that franchise should always be moving forward and always be have something planned.
It's a universe of possibilities, and they really just need to, you know, grow a pair and just do something with it. And I think people will respect that as long as we're getting some more Star Wars movies. You know what I mean? I miss it. For sure.
But you guys are seeing this. What are you guys' thoughts on the Rogue Squadron film and Kevin Feige's produced Star Wars film being, at this point, considered dead? Definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below.